Hello everybody, welcome back to AI War Fleet Command. It's been a while since I'm able to get one of these up. I'll just say real briefly that I have actually had the teeth removed. And swelling from that is going down. It was a little bit involved, lots of wrenching and twisting around to get them out of there, but I am now fully on the mend. Everything should be all points forward in the future. So in terms of this, where we're at is we're rebuilding in Ouija Man, or actually building up rather. Whoops, I do not want to be on scouts at this point. I was just tracking down where my Mark IV scout is. I've been using that to fly around different places. It's out in this area and it's working on the galaxy. But we've built everything up in here and eliminated all resistance. We've still got to knock out that at some point. Not worried about that. That'll happen quickly. So they've released a Dire Guardian, which is what this is all about. And it's a Dire Spider Guardian. Now, they gave me a 10-minute countdown, which is very nice. It immediately started heading over here. Now, if we go back into Hump, we can see it used all of the build points. So they're down to, 77. So that's just over a minute's worth. It went up to 5,400 to produce it. And if that's consistent, which I think it's going to be, that's an hour and a half. So that's not too bad. Like releasing one of these every hour and a half. Now we're gonna take a look at this, but with this other stuff, which is the remnants of the latest exo wave, it was able to just barely take down my defenses in this system. So I sent in the remainder, flagships, starships and stuff from the attack in Ouija Man, and I'm going to use them to defend in here. We'll just take a look at the fight here, but this one's 800k health. And then you can see it does a whole bunch of engine damage. That's basically what it's meant to do because it's a Spider Dire Guardian. We just unload here and I'll get my Sentinel Frigates to help out. They're going to fire at this stuff over here first, which is not optimal. But now that's all gone. And if we look at what this thing does, like we're taking it down decently. It's got ultralight, not that much armor, but they're just powerful. You can see it's just laying waste to a bunch of my turrets in here. So obviously these are the kinds of things that you've got to take down quickly. And we're doing a pretty decent job of that. They've got some other ships in here. We also have a couple of our 9 Zool starships, which is going to help us out. Boom. There it goes. You can see we've got almost 1 million scrap in here. So I think the main thing on these Dire Guardians is just going to be like they're not going to totally wreck everything. Remember, these are all still Mark I things except for the grav turrets. They're not going to be able to totally wreck everything by themselves, but if you mix some of them in with a regular attack wave, we're going to be in some serious trouble. And we're going to want to upgrade our defenses, of course, long term, and basically just not let too many of them loose. Okay, so we're back in Philomela, but this time hopefully with not as much of the Hunter group as we saw before, having cleaned it out not that long ago. Of course, again, they've got the black hole machine in here. They're going to deploy a strategic reserve to defend, and the reason we're in here is Spire Civilian Leader plus Advanced Research Station. Now, I thought about potentially hacking in here because I took a look at this, and they've got 3 ships. 3 possibilities. Zenith Devastator, which is... you can build 2 of those. They're considered a starship type. They can fire through force fields. They can't go through force fields. They can't attack smaller ships. They can fire through force fields. You got the Armor Ship, which is a nice, fairly high cap. You got 88 of those. It's good to just sort of like tank and have other ships attack. And then the Spire Maw, can build a few of, and that's like basically a fleet ship version of the Disassembler Guardian. Swallows up to 50 smaller ships and attritions them. And that's going to be a little iffy for me to use. That's actually the one we're going to get. But I didn't want to use any more hacking right now. I'm eventually going to want to use the super terminal, and I also didn't want to waste time. We're up against the clock here in terms of trying to get control of this system by the time we hit the 4-hour mark. Because if I can do that, then we get the Spire Civilian Leader helping us instead of adding another one to the boosting of the AI progress. We're still at the floor right now, but we are our reduction only gets us down to 7 below the floor. So we're probably going to be going above the floor once we capture this system. Okay, so in here, of course, are my youngling tigers. I don't want them out right away. I do want everybody else out right away. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Whoops, I wanted to sort of stay all in one place. And then, of course, again, we want the Sentinel Frigates to knock this out so it stops producing all of those wonderful things that it's doing. There we go. And hey, if they want to keep going back and forth, that's fine. Okay, now they deploy everything there, and as soon as we need them, I want to wait till a bunch more ships get over this way. Yep, it's firing over there. Let's just let all of our long-range stuff go to work. And of course, we need to keep everything tight because of the sniper situation. More auto bombs coming. Implosion, disassembler. We'll knock those out eventually. There goes that. We've got an AI reprisal. Oop. Yeah, well, that's not going to last long. We'll get it back. There it is. And that was this guy. Okay, so I've been able to keep the youngling tigers bottled up, which is great. Because I'm going to want them later. And I don't know where all those ships are going. Oh, they're headed to Ouija Man? Okay, yeah, that's their... We're ticked off that you attacked our base. So we're going to go do a, you know, vindictive thing. And as soon as these are gone, we're going to head off across the system. Okay. And knock this out as soon as possible. Once we get close, I'll unload the youngling tigers. It's nice to be able to save them for that. But of course, our Sentinel Frigates are going to keep firing, firing, firing. And the reason for all this is I can't bring in a new command post. Can't start up a new command station with all these snipers around. So I got to take care of the snipers, which means I've got to knock down this force field. And of course, firing at it from across the system is the best way. And we're flying through the black hole machine's fire zone for a bit, but that doesn't do that much damage. There we go. Now we're starting to get it down to where we eliminate some of these, bit by bit. Let's see, our force field is down almost to half. And we're getting rid of some of those snipers. Less than 7 minutes on the clock. I think we're going to make this, but it's going to be close. Ah, and that's all nice. Nice of them to go fly away. Because we're just going to knock them out that much easier there. And now everybody's swarming here. Everybody's attacking. I mean, they'll get hit hard. But let's have them, you know, join in the fun. There we go. Okay, so now I need to get the colony ship in here. And I've only got a few minutes to do it. Get built up over there so that we're ready. We can take this out from long range. The nice thing about the Mark III Fortress has a 30,000 radar dampening range, but its range is only about 20,000. So there's a 10,000 leeway there that my Sentinel Frigates can use to knock that out. It'll take them a long time, but I don't really care. No reason to go over there and get shot by it. And now that we've eliminated all the resistance here, we can get set up. At first, I was not sure what to do next. We've got a bunch of scouting done. One of the homeworlds is here in Dagobah, but I'm almost positive the next one's here in Hygeia, because I think Oberon is a core world. But I want to wait to make any full plans for the mid-game until we get the rest of them knocked out. Happens soon, but we're not there yet. Didn't want to waste time. Now, we did cycle over the next hour. We got +8 in AI progress from the Spire civilian leaders. So we're now at +2 per hour from those. But of course, each little bit they boost it contributes to increasing the floor. Anyway, then I remembered Tethys. And of course, that was my first initial big target. I haven't taken it yet. And I thought, you know, maybe now is the time. The Spire civilian leader, of course, there. The C secondary shield. But then also, the big thing, of course, is getting that missile turret controller. And they do have Mark IV ion cannon, so it does limit what we can do in here. But I thought maybe I've got enough to handle it. So I jumped in here, and I want to be away from their two sources, which again are the command station for the strategic reserve and that wonderful barrack. So I want to hop right out this way. I'm going to use essentially a similar plan to what I did before. Yep, I want to get the got the Sentinel Frigates and the starships. There we go. And we want them to pound this. They've got a couple of disassembler guardians that we'll need to deal with. There we go. Okay. So now it's just a question of when I bring out the youngling tigers, which are also immune, or not immune, but they are not insta-killable. Might have been a good idea to bring them out before all of that swarm. But yeah, let's bring them out and have them help deal with all of this. And then I'm going to move them up because this is where the scout is. So if I move them up a little bit up there, have them take the brunt of things if they can. Got a reprisal warning. Let's just see how we do here. Yeah, it's just not looking good. We need more force in this, or another alternative is we need to be able to take out their command station before they can generate this much strategic reserve, because it all comes out a little bit at a time. So here I'm just setting everybody out when we're not nearly as far away. Now, that doesn't give us as much time to deal with the incoming from the barracks, but it does give us more time, or them less time rather, to generate strategic reserve. So I've got the... Yeah, I'm not sure you fully saw my orders there, guys. There we go. And now I'm going to just sort of try to make everybody move slowly off this way. Then once we get to the edge, I'll release the younglings again. And I don't know if this is going to work any better, but I have a feeling it might. Again, we're just, gradually retreating. Sort of a fighting withdrawal at this point. Knocking out some snipers over there. Oh, I already had them out. I accidentally, I guess, unloaded everybody. Okay. Let's have them target these. I think we're having trouble staying together here. Yep, still not quite ready for that yet. Okay, now same basic idea again, but a little bit different. What I'm doing is I'm bringing along Mark III and Mark IV Sentinel Frigates. I spent 4,000 knowledge. We have a good amount right now. Spent 4,000 knowledge to unlock those. Had to put up a new matter converter to get the energy for them. And I have 5 of those up. That's quite a bit. We have plenty of metal for the moment. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I want to do what I was kind of doing last time here. Whoops, I don't want all 3 of them. I just want to unload the group from that. And get starships and Sentinel Frigates, knock it out, do a fighting retreat. There we go. And now we have multiple times the firepower from our Sentinel Frigates. Twice as many of them. And they're going to do more damage. Of course, to the higher mark ones. Look at all that. Okay. Let's go ahead and retreat away from the force of everything that's coming. Alright, and let's make sure, got most of these left, that we knock out the disassembler guardians. No, don't go towards them, just shoot them. There they go. Everybody go back. Okay, now it's time. Weird, I've got a bunch of Sentinel Frigates in there. Why is that? Get out. Goodness gracious, get out. Everybody. Really want everybody to group up here. So if everybody join right in this area. I do still have my scout. Yes, yes I do. And they don't have much. I mean, they have some snipers, but we're knocking those out. Well, I actually have quite a few. So that's unfortunate. They're firing away, but we're working on knocking those down. They don't have a bunch anywhere else. Yeah, so we've got a good amount left here. I think this is going to work this time. We've got enough firepower to make it happen. Reprisal warning level 1, that's fine. Okay, and there's not much left to shoot down that way. Okay, so next, I need to get over here. And if you look at the ranges, we've kind of got the fortress here. And they kind of overlap, but there's a little bit here in the middle. What I want to do is just load everybody up in the transports again. And just move over there in the transports. And then we'll pop back out. Okay, so now theoretically we can defend over here while our colony ship does its thing. And actually I want a logistics Mark II in here. Let's get rid of... Giannis doesn't need this. So Giannis, you're going to put up a standard logistics. Let's see. That'll be a decent spot. And that should free up a logistics Mark II for use in Tethys. There it is. Now, where are we going to want... This is our sort of approach vector. And then we should definitely be getting what remains of those back into there so we don't lose the youngling tigers. There we go. And the idea is, instead of facing off against all these guard posts, this fortress, we are just going to knock them out from range. Got 50 some of those left. Let's just send them over that way and have them start attacking this. And then once our turrets start coming online in here, we will use those to knock out all of these fun things. Now, I was going to cut this off at this point, but there's one more thing I've just got to show. You can see the whole galaxy has been scouted. We'll be getting into that next time. So this was a very good use of time in here. But if we pop back in here, they're getting, you know, their vengeful attacks have been coming through. We've been handling them pretty decently. But these are the Mark V missile turrets. And I just have to say, they're even more overpowered than I expected. Well worth getting. Now, if we look at the Mark I. Okay, attack has 3 144 damage missiles that it fires every 12 seconds. You can see the attack multipliers, 3 across the board. All of that fun stuff. Health is 3,000. And we have 48 of them. We've got this extra category here now. Core turrets. Turret Mark V. And enabled by captured one or more core turret controllers. That little button was added on. 30 out of 72 in service. The ship cap is 50% higher, at least on this one. We'll have to experiment with the others because I'm definitely going to be getting more. Everything else is as you would expect. Mark V is 5 times what Mark I is. 5 times the health at 15,000. Fire rate's the same. 5 times the attack at 712. So on and so forth. Attack boost is limited the same way. Everything else is the same. But yeah, so if you have the energy to invest, and you know, I'm probably going to be leaning my defenses even more towards these now, that they've got the increased cap and they're more powerful. But with the energy to invest, they're definitely going to be better than ships at that level. But the increased cap just means you can really build some fortified planets. And so that's going to be my goal for this game. That should be exciting. I already mentioned I'm going to unlock the mines eventually, the area minefields, the Widow minefields. So I just plan on making this a run where we just simply throw everything we can into fortifying the planets. And hopefully that will help and not end up having our resources be all in the wrong place when we get into the showdown. Next time, we'll take a look around the galaxy, formulate our plans for the mid-game, and moving towards getting those showdown devices activated and seeing how that all works out. Until then, thanks for watching, everybody. Things starting to heat up in the Spirecraft Showdown, and we'll be back soon with more AI War.